Women have a hard time admitting this very masculine trait within men that has been looked down upon as something that's toxic or wrong. However, it is truly an indicator of a high value man. What is it? A man with boundaries, a man with standards, a man with self-respect, and the ability to say no when he means it, who is not easily persuaded by a woman's heavy emotions that are not serving her, usually ever, and also the man who more than likely can drown in a woman's integrated emotions. Now, women have a hard time admitting to wanting boundaries out of a man because it puts her in jeopardy of not being in control of the relationship, handing over control to the man, which control is a very masculine trait. And when it is healthy and it is integrated within the man, it can actually allow the feminine woman to surrender into her emotions in not a way that's harming herself, but actually soothing the very aspect of her that needs leadership out of them by the man. So really this dynamic of a man having boundaries, which you guys are deserving of having boundaries and self-respect and saying no, even if a woman has a fit about it. And this is something that's very, very hard for women. In the moments when we are triggered in conflict, or even just having a man saying no to us, rejection, it can be taken as something that's truly an attack on us. And it can feel that way. I felt that way before. It's something I am currently working on, is celebrating my boundaries as well as a man's. And this is something that needs to be fostered in a relationship. And this is something that needs to be heard by men in today's society. And women really need to understand this. Men have a very hard time in today's society speaking out, speaking up, and standing out in the face of what is happening to our culture today. We are programming our men to be over-identified to their emotions. And when this happens, we have more feminine men and we have more masculine women looking down upon our men. And this is never attractive. This is not a turn on. However, women like it this way because it allows them to be in control. The very control that they are scared to give over to the men perhaps they are desiring or in a relationship with. And you may ask, well, Maya, why is it so hard for a woman to understand that I need boundaries? I need to say no at times to her. And this is difficult for women because, like I said, you saying no to her can make a woman feel very unseen, unheard, misunderstood within the emotional states that feel heavy. But this is no excuse, because when you have the ability to practice your stoicism within conflict, within even just relationships with yourself, it allows you to take yourself out of the very heat of the moment or the very uncomfortable situation into the seat of the observer. And within the seat of the observer, you get to actually see at a wider standpoint what is going on. And a man needs to be in this position when it comes to addressing his boundaries and his ability to say no when he means it. Women don't want an agreeable man. I am going to say this right now. If a man would fold constantly to my emotional wounds that women usually just project onto their man, there needs to be a firm boundary set in place for a man not to drown in a woman's emotions that can be very heavy, very deep. And I think it's really important to create in yourself, men, comfortability within firmness. Firmness that comes actually from a space and a place of having yourself in mind as well as another person, a woman. This is about male attraction and what women find attractive. If you were to fold to a woman's emotions constantly, we would have zero respect for you. We would be using you as an emotional punching bag. So whenever we feel something, or perhaps if you do something, we will take it out on you. Is this healthy? Absolutely not. Does it happen? Yes. This is why a man needs boundaries, to call it out. This is not serving me or you. This is a boundary I have when it comes to maybe the things you do and how it does not work in my life. It does not even work perhaps in the woman's life. And having the best interest in mind for a woman can sometimes be a harsh wake-up call for women to hear. A lot of women can't hear the truth because within the truth, it highlights all areas of themselves that are wounded, hurt, unworthy, and in constant need for validation. Even validation through their men and perhaps other men, even if women are in a relationship. And this is dangerous. An example of a man having healthy boundaries within a relationship is, let's say Peter is in a relationship with Susie. Susie loves Instagram. Susie works out. She's healthy. She's beautiful. She likes to post her fitness content and mostly her ass on Instagram. Why her ass? Well, because it gets her the most views, likes, and attention. Peter notices the constant notifications going off on Susie's phone, all having to do with the images she posts. The thirst traps constantly. Her always needing to be half naked, perhaps, to gain other men's validation for her Instagram to be where it is. Maybe she's an influencer. Peter has enough of it. Peter sees this as a threat to their longevity of the relationship. So what does Peter do? Peter wants to step in and say, Susie, I do not feel comfortable with you constantly showcasing yourself half naked online while you are in a relationship with me. These are the reasons it makes me uncomfortable, and I would like it if we could address the very things that need to be addressed. A woman in a relationship should not be showcasing herself half naked online. Even if the man is okay with it, that is a weak man. Why is that a weak man? Because that man is allowing other men into the relationship, making him look like a fool, and making his woman even more so in need of validation. There is no healing within this relationship. So Susie gets overreactive, says that Peter has no right telling her how she should live her life. Peter takes in what Susie has to say, but he does not fold and take back what he says in order to allow Susie to feel better. He says what he says, he states his boundaries, and if she does not stop posting herself half naked online for male validation, he will have to exit the relationship. Now, in this situation, a lot of women are reactive. Because we live in an over-sexualized society, women are programmed within this mentality of, I know what's best for me, and my man does not. Now, your man is your protector. Don't you want that, women? Your leader? And you have to be very clear upon if it's in control that's serving you and the relationship, or if it's coming from control because a man is very insecure and maybe not fully integrated within his own masculinity. We need to be able to discern, but I did want to highlight this as an example because I see this happen a lot in our culture today of it's basically internet cheating when you do that. And I have my viewpoints upon that, but this is just an example. Peter had every right to bring up his boundaries upon that. Why? Because it's actually coming in between him and Susie's relationship, the dynamics. He's protecting her. She is not aware of it, but it's actually coming for her to thrive as well. To not always need to showcase yourself in a provocative way in order to gain something off of other people who are also in weakness. So, to end this video, I want to just make it very clear for men. Your boundaries need to be obtained. You must have the ability to say no when you mean it, and have the discernment for yourself and for maybe your relationship or for the people that you want to attract into your life, to have standards, and to not fold in the midst of a woman's reactions. This will set you up not only to be very attractive, but also to have a level of self-respect for yourself that is magnetic for a woman, because you are safe in yourself, which will create safety in a relationship. But a lot of people don't feel safe within themselves, and they have a hard time bringing that forward into a relationship. And it takes practice, but it's no excuse for you to fold and be weakened by our women today. Stand strong, stand firm, and I hope this video helps. I will see you in my next one. Bye.